Hey there, Kenneth French of Vast Voice, telling business secrets to entrepreneurs. We're very, very happy you stopped by. Either you're going to watch this or listen to this because you want to take your business to the next level. You're probably an entrepreneur who's either just starting out or you've been around for quite a while and you want to take your business to the next level. You're probably a real estate investor, maybe even a real estate agent, maybe a professional or of some sort, professional advisor of some sort. And well, you are stopping by because you need some valuable advice from one of the top industry leaders there is. Anyway, thank you very much. Once again, Kenneth French, Vast Voice, telling business secrets to entrepreneurs. Really glad you stopped by.
Kids, we got the grow lady, Amanda Webster, the grow lady. You like that?
I like it.
I'm not sure what that means, but it sounds really cool. Right off the bat, give us one little nugget that will add value to our listeners and viewers about what it is you do so you can make them rich.
Well, we give you funding so that you can grow your business and capitalize.
Oh, I like that.
Whatever it is.
I like it. Everyone's going to love Amanda. Oh, wait a minute. So you're saying you give people money? Is that basically what you're saying?
I mean, I don't personally give you money. However, my lenders that I work with give you money.
Now we're talking. All right. Throw a little bit more at it. I like this. Our people are going to like hearing that. Wait a minute. Our investors, as you probably know, people come to us usually for tax, a little bit of lowering taxes. Most of them are pretty darn rich. And most of them want to do more and more real estate projects to get bigger and bigger and bigger. So they're going to like hearing from you. So give us a little bit more information about how you can help them get loaded or even more loaded.
Well, listen, the wealthy know the secret of you should never use your own cash flow unless you have to type of thing. So that's kind of what we built, was a way to use other people's money, but specifically through business credit. So a lot of people don't understand what that is or how to do it. And that's where we came in, and we started in 2007. And it's more education than everything because most people just don't understand what I mean by that and what is business credit and how do I use it and what do you mean? I've got a business credit card from Chase, but it's got 20,000. I said, okay, well, how about I turn that 20 into like 100, and then we get you another one, and then we get you another one, kind of things like that, of like ways to be able to use it. But then we go a step further. So we actually build the strategy, we build the plan, we find the best lenders for you. We make sure everything's getting clean. You have a good personal credit profile. You got a great business profile, because you should be separating the two, which most entrepreneurs do not understand, that you have to divorce yourself. You cannot be using your personal credit, your personal finances to fund your business, because then it's a double-edged sword. So you got to have both sides, and you can get way more capital on the business side. So we not only help strategize, we actually do the application side. We actually help you with all those things, but then we teach you how to actually use it in a strategic way, and even close on houses like cash with a business credit card, which sounds crazy, but it's 100% a thing that we have helped our clients do in the thousands upon thousands of clients have used it in the actual vehicle that way.
Yeah, Amanda, I love you. Holy mackerel. Okay. This is a good start right off the bat. So, well, wait a minute. Tell us a little bit about yourself, because I can tell you have an interesting background. I know you're a big TV personality, you're a big famous guru. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
All right, I wouldn't have used any of those words. However, personally, I first like to say the most important things that identify me is I am a wife to a career military man.
Oh, wow.
We have 5 beautiful children that range from 16 all the way down to 2 years old. So we have a very full household, but that I think is more important than anything in my world is that fact. But I'm also the COO of Fund and Grow, which is where we do all of our business. And I actually spent 17 years managing law firms, which I know sounds crazy because I look like I'm only 25, but I am much older than I look now. No, so I managed law firms for a long time. COVID hit. I mean, whatever that was. And I landed here through a lot of different reasons, and fell in love with what we are doing to help entrepreneurs and help specifically real estate centric businesses be able to find capital to be successful, because lending doesn't like real estate. Traditional lending does not like real estate for some reason on the investor side. So that's kind of where Ari, the founder, that's where he developed this, because he saw that need back in 07, 08, when everything was wonderful.
I gotcha. Wow, that's a good. By the way, you're right. The most important thing is your family. 5 kids. I don't know how you do that. I can't even handle myself, let alone my wife, my one son. I don't know how you do 5 kids. That's unbelievable, especially as young as 2. Man, good job.
Google Calendar. That's how I handle 5 children.
Yeah, I totally get that. Holy mackerel.
Yeah.
All right, I got a little idea for you. We have not prepped. I like it. We just go with the flow. We're gonna see you if you could take someone who's got horrible or no credit all the way along the spectrum to someone who's got unbelievably studly credit, and you could bring them one step higher. Okay, you ready? Ready for a case study?
I'm ready.
Me. We'll use me. We, believe it or not, pay for everything via cash. I know that's crazy, long story. No, there's no long story. We're just stupid, right? I'm being completely frank, right? So what would you do in a case like that where someone 100% does everything in cash, including on their business side, believe it or not? Does that make sense? We do it personally and in business. And when I say cash, I mean, ATMs, debit cards, et cetera, et cetera. So what would you do in that case to turn me around and make me into a smart credit using person?
First thing, I'm going to educate you on how terrible that is for multiple reasons. No, cash will always be king, right? So cash is king. It always is a thing. It's always going to make you get better deals. It's just quicker and faster in there. But it's affecting cash flow, right? It's always kind of an ongoing thing, and then regenerating it. So the biggest issue with people like you, which I've dealt with people who are millions and millions and millions of dollars, and they have zero credit. They just don't have credit because they don't use it. So I have to first get you credit on the personal side, as much as you may not like it, because credit is queen. It's the counterpart. You have to have both to really be successful in your personal life and your professional. It's great that you haven't needed it yet, but at some point it becomes a factor, right? Because even just deposits on electric bill, an electric company sitting on power at your business or something like that. But so I would actually have to build your personal credit first. Okay. So we offer a lot of actual free resources for that, or we'll offer a longer membership for what we do for no additional charge to be able to build on the front side. So a lot of times people might have a 780 credit score, but they have like 2 account histories showing up on their credit, right? They don't really use it. So I've got to beef it up. I've got to find you some offers on the personal credit side because you cannot get business credit if you've never had personal credit because there's no business credit offers out there that don't require some kind of history on the personal side. It's not going to show up there. It's not going to affect that credit score, but it's going to leverage that to get around all the red tape that all the other types of lending have, like providing tax returns and, bank statements. So I would first have to build that. That takes roughly 6 months because you have to have seasoning in order to use those accounts to leverage. So my team would have to apply for the personal, just a couple. We would need you to use them, and we would explain the exact way to use them and how we want to see you use it in a very responsible but aggressive way. And then 6 months later, once all that's reported and you might still have a 780 or even a 750, it might drop a little bit for having a new account. We then can revisit and move forward on the business side. So we'd have to go through at least 6 months to be able to lean up your credit, because it's one of those things, and it happens all the time. This is not an uncommon thing. I have 2 case studies. I have entrepreneurs who use cash for everything, or I have entrepreneurs who are using their personal credit for everything. It's one of the two. It's kind of how that works. So your journey would be 18 to 24 months to be able to truly get the type of credit that we market, because we have to do a lot of work on the front side. But there's a certain part of it we can't do. So it's also dependent on you doing it. So you've got to go spend it. You've got to pay it off. You've got to be able to be aggressive and do a little work for my team so that we can then get you to the next phase. But even those personal ones are going to be really good offers and really strong cards that you can have. And then we'll tell you, just use it for gas every month once we're done or something. So it stays open and you're starting to, really engage in that score.
Okay. And then you mentioned your team. What's an engagement like? Let's say I'm just about to engage you or hire you. What does that look like? Because I want to change my credit from, no credit like I have now, basically, to getting credit. What's the engagement look like with you?
So we have a very, what I call customer success centric. So the second that you sign up, you are assigned a dedicated success manager, and they're going to be with you through the whole journey. They're going to do your onboarding. They're going to process your file. They're going to do the file review to make sure you're ready to go. They're going to get you to funding. You then will have a funding strategist who does the actual funding side. We have a whole team that just does that.
Mm-hmm.
And then your success person, though, is with you that whole time. So there's a whole journey of processing, getting to the first round of funding, depending on what that round looks like, whether it's personal for someone like you or a business, regular traditional business round. That round takes, for personal, probably only like 2 weeks, business 3 to 4 weeks to completely get done with the round. You'll get offers right away, but to fully get done. Then we're going to give you a lot of education and coaching in between to make sure you're using everything appropriately.
Mm-hmm.
You have everything set up. We're also going to have you make sure you're working on your corporate credit with Dun & Bradstreet, because that's a huge component to eventually get to non-recourse commercial lending on the traditional side for your business. There is a way to get there even as a real estate investor and get millions and millions unlocked of potential lending if you follow the process.
Okay, so we're not there yet.
No.
But I like the sound of that non-recourse. I mean, dude, that's killer. So, okay, so now let's pretend I've engaged you. Now we've changed me. So now I have personal credit. It's been 2 years. So then what? So now you said then, or 2-ish years, then it goes to the business credit. So what does that then look like? What are some of the ideas that can add value to me now that we're starting into that business journey?
Well, and by the way, 2 years is the whole journey. So your personal will be 6 months to a year. You would start your business journey at 1 year. Yeah. We wouldn't have to make you wait 2. So once you're ready, then it's a matter of looking at your business setup, making sure everything is correct on the Secretary of State site, or what we have to look up for your EIN to make sure all that's valid. We do all this stuff to make sure you're in the best position. We're going to give you coaching if you're not and what you have to do. Then we send you into funding, and funding is going to look like typically 3 to 4 offers. They're all going to be 0% on the front side. So front side meaning average 12 to 15 months of interest-free funding. And they're going to be anywhere from, because it's a credit profile, anywhere from $30,000 to $100,000 in that first round of business funding. All on the EIN, all reporting on your EIN side, helping you build that business credit side, and all available right away. And then we're also, so once that funding, that first round, so I say rounds, in the business side, we do usually 3 rounds of funding within that 12 months. And we're going to stack the offers. And we have a specific type of way that we take, like if in round 1 we applied for a chase, in round 2 we're going to apply for a different chase, and then we're going to merge the old card into the new card, restart your 0%, and now you only have 1 card with, say, $90,000 on it versus 2 cards with $40,000 on them. So we have a way of combining and restarting that 0%. Then we're going to coach you to aggressively use it between rounds. Between rounds is usually 4 months. So we're going to do that process and just kind of rinse and repeat. So it's a whole, we call it a program because it takes that 12 months to get that $250,000 goal point, to be able to get you to $250,000 or more, depending on your profile, in this type of unsecured, revolving, 0% on the front side capital that acts just like a business line of credit. It's just housed on a credit card, again, on the EIN side. And we're also going to teach you how to pull the money off properly without it being a cash advance and hitting all these different fees.
I like that. I like the sounds of that. So now I'm going to divorce myself from this. I'm not in this category. So let's say a lot of our clients are real estate developers. So I'm going to put my hat on as being a real estate developer, although I'm a real estate investor, but not a developer. So, and all of a sudden, because, they're having a hard time getting funding, maybe they have bad credit. What would you do for them to help them in that example?
So a lot of people misconstrue bad credit with just being uneducated of how to work the credit system, because there is a system, right? So it'll depend on the score. So let's pretend somebody comes in with a 610 credit score, right? A lot of people would consider that subprime on the scale of credit. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to look at that credit. We get raw data from the credit bureaus and we're able to interpret it in our own system. And we're going to they don't have to pay me $1. They're going to come in. We're going to actually review that first and see, why are they sitting there? What is happening in that credit to make it that way? There are a lot of times that people just don't understand how those scoring modules work. and how you actually can get ahead and call what I call debt balancing or even debt shifting. So somebody comes in with revolving credit, so credit cards on their personal credit that they're at 80% utilization, let's say. That's dragging their score down, sometimes up to 100 points. It's crazy how much that drags your score down. Yeah. So 80% utilization because you get penalized for every percent over 35 that you use, even though you have these credit lines. So 35% and below utilization is where you want to be at all times. So sometimes a couple things happen where somebody just has their 80%, but they have this one card over here they don't use because they don't like it for some reason, but it's got 20 grand available. Sometimes it's debt balancing and transferring things so that the load becomes 35% across the board. But that's only for revolving debt. So the other option is if they're all at, say, 80%, it actually would be beneficial for you to get a personal installment loan, still unsecured, because it's scored completely different. So I can take anything over the 35%, I can put it into that personal loan category. It's also going to have lower interest because credit card interest rates are the highest of any type of lending typically on the personal side. So your personal loan's going to have lower interest. It's going to long-term be better for you, and it's scored completely different. So you can literally take the same, say, $40,000 debt over here, move it over here, and all of a sudden you gain 80 points in your credit score for just leveraging it out or knowing what type of account to put it in. So sometimes it's just an education conversation of, hey, this is what's holding you down. But if you do these couple things, you're actually going to be in the sevens, in the 700 point. We have some resources we provide. Again, there's no cost for this type of front side information. Because obviously it benefits us to get you in that, correct position. So we actually have some resources on the personal loan side that we don't get any money for, but we just know that they work and they have what their criteria is. And so we refer them out. You work on that. Let us know as soon as it's done. We'll see what your credit looks like once, 30 to 45 days post looks like. So it's more of understanding credit because the normal consumer, even people with money, don't understand what the credit bureaus are actually looking at and how the scoring works. And you can't trust like your Vantage score, you're going to Credit Karma or Credit Sesame. Those scores aren't real on the lending side. The lending scale is completely different and it's scored completely different. So you might come in thinking that you are a 680 and when I pull it, you're a 620 because they're a business model and they want you to think you're higher. No, it sounds crazy and conspiracy-like, but it's 100% how the industry works.
Yeah, this is confusing. The whole credit thing, it is a little confusing. No, not a little. It is confusing. And I guess where you truly add the value is all those little tricks and gadgets to be able to increase the credit score, i.e. also to put money in people's pockets based on that.
Yeah. It's all about understanding the sandbox, and you got to play in it, right? You got to play in the sandbox they've built. So I don't think they're fair rules because on the business credit side, it's completely different. You can have the same exact amount of limit on a Chase business card as you do on your personal card. And I can max it out every month and pay it down and max it out. And I'm actually gaining a score better from that aggressive use and no detrimental impact on the business credit profile versus the personal side.
I don't understand that. Yeah.
You're never going to.
Yeah,
I don't understand. I know it all and it doesn't make any sense. Yeah. So I have to just understand the boundaries and know how to live within them. And it's all just understanding that getting the correct information. There's a lot of misinformation being spread out all over the place. And it's very easy in this digital age to get your hands on some information and just think it's fact because it's on social media. It doesn't necessarily mean it's true.
Yeah, I would think you're pretty secure in your job because there's no, even AI wouldn't be able to figure out some of the solutions. There's what's behind the curtain is behind the curtain, and it's behind there for a reason. I understand. Yeah. So by the way, how does someone get a hold of you? It sounds like you're adding value, and you can add value to a bunch of our audience. How does someone get a hold of you?
I created a special page just for you guys.
Woo!
So it's fundandgrow, all spelled out, .com/vast. So that's the link. fundandgrow.com/vast. That's going to bring you to give you an option to get that free consult, to get that free pre-qualification. Does not hurt your credit. It's a soft pull if we do that. To be able to be educated and know where you stand before I don't want your money. if we can't help you. And sometimes we have to help you before we can even collect, because you have to do some work. So, and then for anyone who happens to sign up online, we do have a 60-day money back guarantee, and we will know usually within 5 to 6 days where you're standing and if you're going to be able to move forward. Because some people have a longer path. If you come to me with a 500 credit score, it's definitely going to be a process beforehand before I can help. You're probably going to need some credit restoration. I have a resource for that too, but that's going to be a decision you have to make, because credit restoration is very slow. It's a very, very long process when you have some real things kind of hiding on your credit profile.
Well, wait a minute, hold on. There's a lot to unpack there. So, as an example, I don't know what a credit restoration is. I probably should, but so meaning, let's say someone's had a bankruptcy, because a lot of real estate developers have had bankruptcies. Would they be in that category? The credit restoration have below 500 score?
If the bankruptcy, unfortunately, the way that the industry has made it, until the bankruptcy falls off, you're not going to be able to get a lot of help. Now, there are companies, credit repair, credit restoration, people call them different things, that do have ways they can try to get it removed if it's been at least a couple of years and you have done steps to reestablish. The biggest thing about bankruptcy isn't the actual bankruptcy. The biggest thing is reestablishing with the major lenders post bankruptcy, even if it means getting a secured credit card with Wells Fargo, Chase, Bank of America, Truist if you're in the South, whatever, major lenders. Because if you reestablish with them, that's what they're going to care about. They're going to care. My only caveat would be Amex. They're not as forgiving as the other ones. I don't know if Amex will let you reestablish post-bankruptcy. They seem to be a little bit interesting, but I would still try. I would try to get a secured card, use it really healthy, use it like your bank account instead of using your bank account post-bankruptcy. And then 6 months or a year, you can look at maybe transitioning to an unsecured. It's not going to be the best rate. It's not going to be the best limits, but that's the most important thing post. So yes, anyone who's been through a bankruptcy, there's probably credit restoration needed. Anybody who is under a 600 probably has something, a charge off, a collection hanging out, a lot of lates, a foreclosure, a bankruptcy. Those are the things that are going to kind of be detrimental. And there are ways to do it. We can't legally offer credit repair. We can give you the advice on what you have to do and point you in the direction. But that's why it's important to know ahead of time. Don't pay a company like us until you know if you can even qualify. Because there's no reason to pay me and then sit here for 5 years. That doesn't make any sense. You might as well just work on it and come back to me in 5 years at that point.
I understand. So let's talk about the other end of the spectrum, if you will. So let's just say someone's got our average client supposedly has $19 million net worth, but let's just say someone's got a $10 million net worth, active new client, I should say. Let's say someone has a $10 million net worth and they have killer credit. What can you do to add value to make it so they don't have to have any cash out of pocket for some real estate deals?
So those are going to be the profiles that obviously are ready to get right to funding, right? We're going to sign them up. We're going to right to funding, and we're going to get offers, and usually pretty good level offers. When I say good level, I mean like $40,000-$50,000 and above, just on that initial round. But we don't ever, that's never where we stop. And that's where I think we add more value than other companies is when you apply for this type of credit, yes, you can do it yourself. That's not a secret. It's all about whether you want to take the time to do it. You can apply for yourself, but it's a computer algorithm that spits out a result, right? It's not a person behind the computer. So it's either going to give you one of three results. It's going to approve you and give you a credit limit. It's going to deny you, or it's going to go pending. Those are the three things that happen when you apply for any type of credit, right? If it approves you, even if we love the result, we are still going to have to go back. We want to go back to underwriting and talk to a person and see if we can get that increased. If we're denied, we are notorious for being able to overturn denials. So, and then if it goes pending, it's usually a verification thing. We walk our clients through that because we can't verify you. Like you have to talk to the bank at that point to get verified. That's like a 3-minute conversation. Typically it's super quick. So we do a combination where we actually provide coaching and do certain pieces we can do for you, certain pieces we need to coach you and let you do on your own because of legal reasons. So we make sure that no matter what the result is, so even if it goes pending, you pass verifications, we're still going to want to talk to underwriting because then we can take a $25,000 approval and turn it into a 50 like that. And the card's already on the way. And as soon as it arrives, you can start using it. So it's a very quick process if you're ready to go. Most people with that type of profile are going to be on the higher end. They're going to be on an average of like 90 to 100,000 in that first round. I've definitely seen higher, but it's all dependent on the profile, obviously. Those are also the people that are probably going to end up with more than 250,000 at the end of the day when we're done with them. So there's no cap for us. We charge a flat fee no matter what you get. So we're going to continue to try to build that during that 12-month process, even if it means you're going to get $400,000 in business credit. So you're not paying points for what we're getting you. It's just a flat fee. And we're going to get you as much as humanly possible through the process. And then we're also going to coach you on how to continue to get more once you leave us.
Yeah, I like that. So it's annual engagement, it sounds like. And I guess I will ask, you don't have to tell me, but how much does it cost?
So you don't have to renew. It's a one-time 12-month process for $3,500, just under $3,400.
Oh, that's nothing. I get you. So for a loaded dude, like our average, let's say 10 million bucks, you can bring he or she, whatever, 200 grand, no money out. That's worth it.
Yeah.
$3,000. Wow. That's not okay. Wow. Okay. So help me to understand one more thing, going back to the engagement, the, Fund and Grow, Vast, etc. So you said a soft pull. I know. I should know what that is. So that doesn't impact your credit when you pull it, but you somehow get enough information to know if the engagement works with me and or my viewers and listeners, correct?
Correct. We have a direct raw data pull coming from the credit bureau, but it's a soft pull. So you're not going to see it. It's not going to show up. It doesn't count as an inquiry. It's just a soft pull. So that we can verify everything on your profile, including the bank level score, not the Vantage score, the bank level score, and all of the information. There's certain pieces that are not on the consumer side that we look at. So we're looking at all different pieces that the raw data allows us to have. And then we do not pull your credit hard pull ever. Now, when you go to funding, the lender is going to do a hard pull unless you have an existing relationship and there's certain pieces, especially Amex. However, we make sure we know exactly which bureau they're going to pull so that we're not having, 3 cards on one bureau. It's very easy to kind of figure it out for us, because we're doing it so often. So you're going to get a couple, inquiries. I'd say it's going to equate to 10 to 15 points loss on your credit for sure. I'm not going to deny that. We do give a coaching package. Again, we can't do credit repair restoration, but we give a coaching package on how you can actually get those inquiries removed. So we give you the tools to be able to get those off as well. But I always tell people those inquiries only matter for about 6 months and typically 10 to 15 points at each bureau that you're going to see as a kind of repercussion for those hard pulls. But we do, like I said, we give you the tools to be able to remove them.
Well, okay, this isn't really on topic, but why not do a hard pull for a very small amount so they just see that small amount of pull? Or are you pulling for
revolving? Yeah, revolving doesn't pull for an amount.
Got it.
Revolving is a general pull. Same kind of pull you'd get if you were going to get an apartment complex and they want to do that for your tenant side. It's the same type of pull when the lender does it because it's a general purpose pull.
Yep, I get it. All right, so there's going to be 2 questions before we wrap up. One, give me one example, a case study where you've totally changed someone's life. And that's number one. No, I'm going to ask you that first, then we'll get to the second question. What's one example you've totally changed someone's life? I mean, they had either horrible credit or they couldn't get credit or whatever. And now somehow you've made them into a billionaire. They're richer than Bill Gates.
I don't know if they're richer than Bill Gates, but I don't know if anyone knows who Nick Perry is. But he is a big wholesaling real estate investing guy. You can find him on all the socials. He's huge now. He came to Fund and Grow many years ago, and we were able to provide him funding that he was not able to get funding anywhere else with what he was doing. And there's actually, we've used him several times. He's done a couple videos for us on our YouTube channel. You can even go find it. But he actually will tell you that the credit we got him allowed him to 10x his business within about 12 months. And then he just kept multiplying. He actually has come back for, I think, 3 memberships with us, because you can come back if you want to. We'll still continue to work for you. You just don't have to. He's done 3 membership with us. And I can't even tell you the number. It's somewhere in like the $500,000 to $600,000. He's almost capped out for what he can get at his level. But he is probably 40x on his return now for just the capital he was able to get. And he uses it for all kinds of different things because eventually interest kicks in. This isn't free money forever, right? So we actually teach that as well, of like how to use this long term and how this strategy works and how successful business owners do it. Fund and Grow's its own case study. Fund and Grow was completely self-funded through this type of credit.
Oh, there you go. That in itself is cool. Yeah.
Yeah. And we pull roughly $1 million a month in revenue. Roughly. This can be plus or minus a little bit at this point. And every bit of it has been funded through business credit. And then eventually that non-recourse commercial lending is how we bought the building. So by doing the actual program that we say, that's how we were able to fund the whole company, the whole thing.
Yeah. Did you guys hear that? Did you real estate investors hear that? They bought a building based on the credit and some of their ideas, and it's only what'd you say, $3,000-$3,500 a year, for the first year, and then it's up to you to go move forward every year thereafter.
Yeah, and like I said, it's an amazing building. I don't know what it's valued at now, but it's around $1 million when we purchased it. And it's been a great ride. It's actually the second building we purchased on this, and it's non-recourse, non-PG. Straight on the business side type of mortgage, if you will.
Yeah, nice. Very nice. Huh? All right. I said there's going to be two questions. What's the last question? What's something we have not talked about that you think can add value to people, mainly real estate investors, entrepreneurs, from someone who has no credit, like myself, frankly, because I'm stupid, to be completely blunt, all the way to, someone with whatever, $500 million, whatever the case is. What's something we have not discussed that we should get out there?
So the number one thing that anybody has an issue with in business, number one reason businesses fail is lack of capital. It's very well known, right? Yeah. But even your bigger business, so on the other end of the spectrum, again, if you can find a way to use the lender's money at minimal cost of capital and not touch your cash flow, and we never talked about all of the rewards and cashback and points that every one of these types of loans, these lines get you. We actually receive roughly $10,000 to $15,000 every quarter in cashback checks from the people that we use. So there's a huge benefit. You're using the money anyways. And then also, no business should be using their business debit card to purchase anything for the whole fraudulent reasons and being.
I know, dude. I know.
So there's lots of reasons. You should not be using your personal debit card to purchase anything. Anything in life should not be used with a debit card that's tied to your cash that's in your bank. Just saying.
Dude, believe me, I know that, by the way. Yeah. At least I can admit I'm stupid.
I was too once. And then I came and worked here and I'm like, wow, I'm doing something really wrong. And now I don't use my debit card for anything. And I get hundreds of dollars in between points and cashbacks because I'm spending the money anyways on my personal side. I have to. I think the only thing I can't do it for is my truck payment because they won't take a credit card. So I pay them but I don't pay them by my debit card. I pay them with my ACH.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. By the way, what we do is we have it in our savings. The object is to keep as little amount in that debit card as we could, and then move it from the savings to the checking and then make the purchase or whatever. But again, that's not smart. We don't get any points. Believe me, I hear it. So hopefully I can take it to heart what you're saying. Hopefully some of our viewers and listeners can take it to heart. Using credit makes a lot of sense. There's so many, it's free money in some cases. In your case, it sounds like it's really free money minus the interest, but it really makes sense in so many cases.
Yeah, just be responsible. It's not free money in the sense you don't have to pay it back. So you need to have a plan just like you would anyways, right? Anytime you're doing anything, you have to pay everything back. So there's ways to offset the interest once it kicks in. We use ours like a revolving charge card instead of a credit card, so we pay it off every month. But either way, there's a smart way to do it. Just make sure you're investing in things that you're using the capital for that's actually going to give you a return, which should be the general rule of real estate investing anyway.
Yeah, Amanda the Grow Lady. I love that name. That's random. I thought of that. But Amanda Webster, thanks a lot for spending time with us. Once again, how does someone get a hold of you? I like that link, et cetera. Go ahead and mention the link again, please.
fundandgrow.com/vast. And it's all spelled out.
Easy enough. Easy enough. I really appreciate you taking the time. And for all those guys out there, girls out there, really appreciate you taking the time. You've been listening to Vast Voice, telling business secrets to entrepreneurs. Hopefully this has definitely put some money in your pocket, have money to make some investments, and who knows, maybe be the next Bill Gates, as I mentioned. Once again, I really do appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me.
Dude, nice. That